Hello, Your Royal Highness.
Hello, peasant.
Well, Merry Christmas. We're back at the happiest place on earth. And yeah, we'll get to the other side eventually. But for now, we're back in Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom, which is absolutely decked out in its full Christmas glory. I mean, just look at this. Here comes Santa's wacky reindeer in the Christmas fantasy parade right now. And in fact, look, there's Santa himself. Well, that didn't take long. Some people think that's not the real Santa, but let's face it, Santa could be anywhere. And where else would Santa want to be than Disneyland? I mean, look at this. Look at Main Street Station all decked out over here for the holidays. Well, specifically for their celebrity-filled candlelight processional they're going to do this weekend. I was about to say they decked City Hall with boughs of holly, but it turns out they're fake pine needles. Oops. There's garlands and wreaths and ornaments everywhere. But of course, the piece de la resistance is this. Disneyland's 60-foot tall Christmas tree. Would you look at the size of that thing? 60 feet doesn't sound like much until you're standing at the base of this tree looking up, craning your neck. And look at the size of the tree. Look at the size of the ornaments on here. They're absolutely massive. This is one gigantic Christmas tree. And really, because Disneyland now uses a artificial Christmas tree so that they can recycle it and use it over and over. That's right, they used to truck out live Christmas trees out here from up in the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, now that they're using one of these plastic trees, if you think about it, they could go as tall as they want to go. And in fact, Disneyland used to advertise itself as having the world's biggest Christmas tree, and they were never talking about the giant trees they used to haul over here to Town Square either. This place is such a popular destination for Christmas now because of course they go hog wild with the decorations, with the entertainment. I mean, fake snowfall comes down every night. It's the only place in Anaheim you're gonna get fake snow, or any kind of snow. And that's nothing new. Disneyland has been gussing itself up, particularly on Main Street for Christmas for, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 years now. It has always been one of the best places to go in Southern California to get in the Christmas spirit. They've got the Christmas music playing out here on the speakers along Main Street, USA. Everybody looks happy. I'm just trying to imagine myself back in the day on Christmas coming out here and getting excited to see the tallest, the largest Christmas tree on Earth. And again, I'm not talking about the one in Town Square. The one in Town Square was big, even when it was real. I mean, look at that. But when Disneyland in 1961 advertised themselves as having the tallest Christmas tree in the world, they weren't referring to that, nor were they referring to the real trees they would cut down and stick in the castle moat over here. Oh, that's right. Down in the water on either side of Sleeping Beauty Castle, they would stick Christmas trees down here right in front of this glorious beauty. I think later on they became fake trees, so there were some aluminum ones, and all kinds of different Christmas decorations have adorned this beautiful structure all the way going back to the late 1950s. But no, Disneyland's hugest Christmas tree and their biggest Christmas decoration of all time wasn't on Main Street, USA, wasn't anywhere near the castle. No, instead, if you could travel back in time, you would have found it right here. What? Which tree is he talking about? Was it this tree? Were it these trees? Oh no, my friends. Disneyland's self-proclaimed world's tallest Christmas tree wasn't a tree at all. It was this. The mighty Matterhorn Mountain. I know what you're thinking, because I'd be thinking it too. Wait a minute, the Matterhorn is not a Christmas tree. It looks nothing like a Christmas tree. Well, if you think Disneyland goes crazy decorating for Christmas now, in 1960, they had the craziest, most bonkers idea ever. Because clearly, once they opened this thing in 1959, somebody looked at it and thought, you know, it's kind of cone-shaped, reminds me a little bit of a Christmas tree. Why don't we do the craziest, most insane thing ever? Build what was probably then the world's largest Christmas decoration ever, and turn the mighty snow-capped Matterhorn into the world's largest Christmas tree. And how did they do it? Did they paint it green? No. Did they put giant ornaments and bulbs all along the mountainside? Well, not quite. What they did was look higher and higher for their inspiration, and up on top of the Matterhorn Mountain, 147 feet above the park goers down below, they decided to literally put the Christmas cherry on top with an absolutely massive Christmas star. You can't have a Christmas tree without a star on top, right? The traditional Christmas star, the symbol of leading the wise men to Bethlehem. And because we're talking about 1960 into 61 as they're building this thing, it wasn't just any star, but the most glorious, amazing satellite Sputnik, mid-century modern looking star. That thing didn't just sit up there. Oh no, that thing actually spun around 360 degrees. It was an animated, spinning, mid-century marvel, the spinning Christmas star on top of the Matterhorn. And I don't know if you can tell from that footage, but that star was absolutely enormous. That Christmas star was visible for miles and miles and miles in every direction. It was visible from almost every part of the park. You could see it from the monorail, you could see it from the parking lot, and importantly for my family, you could see it from across the street where my grandparents lived and my mom was growing up. She was a little kid when that star was up there, but my aunt was a little bit older. The Matterhorn star was absolutely enormous, 20 feet tall, and weirdly, if I've gathered my facts correctly, it was a little wider than it was tall, 24 feet wide, taking the Matterhorn's full Christmas height from 147 feet up to 167 feet. And you know what, maybe even a little bit taller, because I don't know if they were even counting the base in that height. I mean, Walt Disney's Mountain is already so tall. You could already see it from all over the city of Anaheim and North Orange County, but with 20 more feet of Christmas star on top, you could see it from even farther away. And not only that, the star wasn't just huge and it wasn't just spinning around, it also lit up. There were lights all over that sucker, meaning it literally turned into a shining beacon of Christmas joy. And hey, if you think about it, the largest light up billboard in the world as well. Dude, spoiler alert, I wasn't there. I'm not quite that old, but it was insane. Imagine walking around here and seeing a 20-foot rotating light up Christmas star up there. I mean, that's 4 alleys tall. I mean, I always found it to be a crazy and impressive fact that they used to have mountain climbers going up and down the Matterhorn all the time. Even into the 90s, sometimes they'd be playing accordions, you know, doing their whole thing up there, yodeling perhaps. But look at this, those mountain climbers look like little tiny specks compared to the majesty of that glorious Christmas star on top of the Matterhorn. I mean, I've never been able to confirm who exactly had that idea, whose idea that was, but they are a freaking genius. And the PR department was stoked. Like I said, they built this in its debut year, 1961, from what I could figure out, as the world's tallest Christmas tree because of that rotating star. And I know what you're thinking, all right, it's got a star on top of it, it rotates. It's still not really a Christmas tree. But for one, oh come on, don't be a party pooper, don't be a negative Nancy. Don't be the, well, actually, technically guy. I mean, come on, have a little fun. It was a Christmas tree. Look at it, it's tree shaped, it's flocked on the sides, flocked with snow. It may not be green, but come on, Christmas trees come in all sizes, shapes, and colors. Although, speaking of sizes, not quite that size, not quite Matterhorn size. I don't know how many years they used to advertise this as being the world's largest Christmas tree, because I think that probably the negative answer, okay, come on guys, it's a Christmas mountain, not really a Christmas tree. You're stretching the definition of tree pretty darn far. But does that really matter? They stuck a 20 by 24 foot revolving mid-century satellite Sputnik looking neon sign glowing huge steel magical Christmas star on top of a freaking mountain. And if you're not gonna let that go, right, if you're not gonna accept that this was once the world's tallest Christmas tree, well, think about this. That ornament on top, that star, 20 by 24 feet today. Right now in 2024, the world's largest Christmas ornament is out in Michigan, and it is only 15 feet tall and 8 feet wide, which means even if they didn't have the world's largest Christmas tree by your exacting standards, Mr. Poopy Pants, that thing was definitely the world's largest Christmas ornament, and they've never topped it. Think about that. I can't find anywhere online that they've ever gone any bigger than, I couldn't believe that the one now, the world's biggest, 15 by 8? Come on. I mean, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe it's just, you know, technically the world's largest dangling Christmas ornament. Maybe there's some sort of technicality there, and there's been a bigger one somewhere. But you have to admit, a 20 by 24 foot mid-century modern Christmas star, rotating, neon, all the things I keep saying, had to be, by definition, the most epic Christmas decoration of all time. I defy you to find me a crazier, bigger, more rotating, more light up, more epic, more high in the sky, freaky mid-century space race Jetsons looking Christmas ornament that's ever existed on the planet. And it's always blown my mind that Disney has never put it back. What's weird is the Christmas star is not all that well known because it went away in 1973 and never came back. So generations have grown up without ever having seen that Christmas star. But still, it's sort of under-publicized. You would think more Disney nerds would know about it or have seen pictures of it. But it's not totally obscure. You can find it if you know what you're looking for. But it's not very talked about. Which makes it even weirder that in 2015, during the 60th anniversary of Disneyland, there were all kind of rumors swirling around late in the summer towards the winter season that they were actually going to bring back the star on top of the Matterhorn. Of course, that didn't happen. But then again, when they had the 100th anniversary of Disney, right, they did their Disney 100th thing, it came back up. People were like, oh, I heard they're gonna put the Christmas star on top of the Matterhorn on such and such a day, and I kept driving by at night, hoping to see a crane or something like that, because by the way, that is how they lifted the epic Christmas decoration up there every year. That star was so heavy, it needed a crane to pick it up and put it down up there. And I heard those rumors from some pretty good sources, some sources even at Disney, and I thought, I don't know, there's no way. Now, there are conflicting stories as to why it went away in the first place. Apparently, it was constructed out of lightweight metal. I mean, the thing looks like it was made out of steel beams to me, but perhaps it was aluminum, who knows? My point is certainly they could have kept it around all this time if they wanted to. In fact, I could find absolutely no information on what happened to the original, what happened to the star itself. In fact, it's hard to find reliable information about the star at all, as in like the first year they put it up there, as far as I can tell, was 1961, and the last year the star was up there was 1973 from all accounts, or 72, maybe they didn't put it up 73. For whatever reason, there seems to be some debate about that. I'll put a pin in that for 1 second. Back in the years when the star was definitely up on the Matterhorn, you may remember there was the Skyway going through it, the Sky Buckets, and from them, somewhere on an old hard drive, I've got 8mm tourist film footage from the Skyway buckets of where they used to store the star. The thing was so big, the crane would take it down, and rather than putting it on a big flatbed truck and moving it up to the studios or some other Disney property, what they would do is they would just stick it backstage behind what was then the back of the park, right here behind the Storybook Land canal boats and the Casey Jr. Circus train back here. I mean, today you've got the Fantasyland Theater, you've got Toontown, you got Star Wars Land back there, but back in the day, right behind Cinderella's castle up there in front of those trees were the tracks for the Disneyland Railroad. They eventually later pushed them back farther when they built Small World and added to Fantasyland. In fact, here's a Disneyland secret you've likely never heard unless you've been watching this channel for a long time. Just over here to the left of It's a Small World, you can see the original line of the Disneyland Railroad. See that line through the trees there and see that gate? This is the original path of the Disneyland Railway. They essentially kept that area open when they pushed the railroad tracks back for a sort of a road that goes backstage. So everything to the right of this was backstage territory. You had the Circle D Ranch, all the horses were kept back there, you had the landscaping back there, they had way less buildings backstage at that time. And anyway, I've seen footage and I've seen pictures of the Christmas star just sort of hanging out down there. That's how heavy that thing was. They just moved it right over there. Now, I don't know what you think, but personally, I find that to be the most epic thing ever. The giant Christmas star on top of the Matterhorn. No, the giant rotating neon mid-century epic Sputnik-looking space-age Jetsons-looking revolving absolutely gargantuan Christmas star. And personally, I would love to see that thing come back. Now, I don't know what team you're on, but I am definitely on Team Disneyland's PR team back in the day. You got a giant cone-shaped thing. It's man-made. It's not like they just stuck it on a dirt hill or something like that. So you have a man-made conical structure with a giant Christmas star on top, covered in snow on the sides like a flocked Christmas tree. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm with them. I think that was the world's largest Christmas tree. I mean, not just tallest, largest. Look at the size, look at the girth on that Matterhorn. But even if it wasn't, that had to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Christmas ornament or Christmas decoration ever created. I don't know about decoration, but Christmas ornament ever created. You know, if my theory on that is wrong and you have evidence of a bigger one, I'd love to hear it down in the comments. What's the biggest Christmas ornament or decoration you've ever seen? Personally, even if it's none of those things, by technicality, I'm gonna go ahead and say it was certainly the most epic Its legend and memory lives on. Thousands of people are still alive, half remembering that beautiful rotating light-up Christmas star. And I've got to believe millions of people would be so stoked if it ever came back. Heck, I'd be blown away if they just brought back the mountain climbers up there. Or even just the guys that were yodeling with their little squeeze boxes. Anyway, guys, I think that's just about it for this one. I just happened to be combing through the old Random Land archive. I found this insane old film footage of the world's most epic Christmas decoration, of the world's largest Christmas tree. And I knew I had to run down here and share it with all of you. And if you want to keep the Random Land archive growing, go ahead and send me some pictures, or you can support us and the channel on Patreon. That's the absolute best way. And if you join the Adventurers Club over there, I do a little show, a little vlog thing almost every day called The Morning Announcements. We have podcasts, we got all kinds of stuff over there. I've got some more epic Disney history, I mean way more epic, and I've got a lot more Disney secrets and adventures to share with you, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you never subscribed, make sure you do that. Do all the things or I'll be screaming like the children. The children are screaming! Or maybe just go to randomland.com, check out the store and the links over there and all the social media and all the stuff. And now that I've told my tale, and you've watched till the very end, and you're gonna do that, we've all done our duty. I really want you to check out those links, and I really want you to have a Merry Christmas. But I also want you to go home and sleep well. Hello, Your Royal Highness.
Hello, peasant.